Mat Pass, and I'm here today with Mr. Joshua Cavazos. He's the owner and operator here at Bushido Martial Arts, and I'm just excited to learn some more stuff about the sport that we love so much, the world of martial arts. Thank you so much for meeting with me today,
I appreciate
Josh.
you having me, man. I'm looking forward to having a chat.
Yeah, me too, man. Well, can you tell me a little bit about your program? What you guys teach here?
So we're primarily a karate school, but we've kind of grown over the years. We do karate, kickboxing, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've started training when I was 9 years old in karate and got into kickboxing, and then I don't know, about 8 or 9 years ago, I ran into Ohana and started training Jiu-Jitsu there too.
Oh, that's so cool, man. So, man, I've got a lot of questions about that in particular because, you know, a lot of the cross-training stuff is just so applicable. Like, for example, one of the things I've noticed talking to different gym owners is, man, you know, my ground game is okay. It's decent. But, man, my stand-up is, in my opinion, is trash. It's like, you know, sometimes people want to spar. How does that translate? I mean, you started doing karate standing up. At what point were you like, you know, I need to get the ground game too?
I think there's always been a part that's been like, hey, there's something missing. I want to say, and it's going to be funny, that it really kind of kicked into high gear when the Ultimate Fighter came out.
Oh, yeah.
Like way back then, and it was like, man, there's a lot missing, you know, from, you know, as martial artists, we practice how to fall and get up as quickly as possible. Sometimes that's not always a possibility, right? So what are you going to do when you're on the ground? You have nothing, you don't know anything. So it just kind of evolved into like, hey, I have a buddy, he trains in jiu-jitsu, he's like a blue belt, he's going to show me some things, to, oh, okay, I met this other guy, he's a purple belt, he's going to come in, and then finally saying, you know what, I need some steady training, and then finding a school and just saying, I need to round out my martial arts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the UFC, man, I think it spurred a lot of people to start training and taking their training seriously, especially the people that didn't realize the ground was the thing, you know? And you just see those guys, all of a sudden, they're on the ground and people don't know what to do.
Right.
And then karate, man, I think the first fighter I ever saw in the UFC that I was like, man, that guy does karate was John Jones. Like, I know there were other guys that did it, but like that was like in my head, I remember them talking about, hey, he took karate. I was like, man, that's karate? Like I'd never seen it in that form.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys emphasize here whenever you're training it?
I think you know, for me, we're more Lyoto Machida based.
Machida.
Yeah, there you go. Lyoto Machida
that's
based.
The other guy
you know
right
what
there.
I mean?
Yeah.
Where, you know, when we started, we were very, you know, we're gonna do things karate, and then finding a way to kind of integrate everything, right? So since we have separate karate and jiu-jitsu programs, we have kids that do jiu-jitsu and kids that do jiu-jitsu and karate, and some kids that just do karate. But we've found a way to kind of like integrate that into our regular training, because I think, you know, people like Lyoto Machida is a black belt in karate, black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you find a way to just kind of weave everything together, and that's kind of been the challenge, is like, how do we integrate things in the best way possible?
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think that it's really getting like a revival, because like to me, like karate was always the Karate Kid, you know what I mean? Mr. Miyagi, and man, guys are killing it with karate, like Wonder Boy Thompson, all these guys. Man, that's awesome.
McGregor initially when he first came
McGregor.
in, a real wide karate stance.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have you all been at this location?
So we've been in this shopping center 9.5 years.
Wow.
We started out, there's a fruit shop over there. That was our first school, and then we got the spot next to it, and then after 2 years, and then another 2 years after that, we got this spot, and then another 1.5 to 2 years, we went back and reclaimed one of the spots over there. So we've been in this building, I think maybe 5 years, but we've been in the shopping center for 9.5.
That's so cool. I used to get my hair cut right there at the King's Main. That's awesome.
Yeah, when they were initially in the spot, that's our viewing room now.
Yeah. Wow, that is awesome, man. So, what I would like to know, as a developer that builds apps and stuff like that solves problems for gyms, what are some of the pain points of gym ownership? Like, what are some of the, if you had a magic wand, boom, you could just remove this problem completely, what are those issues?
From a business standpoint, I think visibility, marketing, right? I mean, marketing takes kind of, if you're trying to do it yourself, takes a pretty big chunk out of your available time. It takes away time to focus on growing your actual martial art. I think marketing is a pain point for us specifically.
Yeah. And what would you say to somebody that's like, you know what, maybe they're an athlete, they're proficient at a form of martial art, they really want to get into gym ownership. What's some advice that you would give them for kicking something off?
I think, there's a lot there. I think doing it for the right reason is very important, right? Doing it because you're passionate about doing it, because this is going to become your thing, right? It's going to become your job. It's going to be the thing you wake up and you do every day, and you got to be really passionate about it. But really close behind having a passion for what you're doing and teaching and passing on is you just got to treat people the right way. I think is super important. I think it's treating people the way that you would want someone to treat your family if they were training there or they were learning there is super important. I think if you do the right things, you're doing the right things for people, it kind of all turns around. And I think if you start on that base, you can build not only just a school, but you build like a community around that. And building that community by treating people right is right behind just being super passionate about what you're teaching to me. Because if it weren't for the people that were here, none of us would be here. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
makes sense. Well, thank you, Joshua. I really appreciate you taking your time out to talk to me about this kind of stuff.
Appreciate you having me on. Yes, sir.
Hey, check out Bushido. I'm going to have all of their social media links down in the description. Until next time, I'll see you on the mat.